Hi there, welcome to Small Channel Problems. My name is Vin and today we're going to talk about should you start a YouTube channel in 2020? The quick answer to that, of course, is yes, you should. YouTube is a platform that allows anybody with a camera to go live, make videos, do whatever they want and get their message out there. There's nothing to stop you from doing that, but let's go into that a little bit deeper and see if there's any other things you can do to give yourself the edge when you're starting. Now for me, the first thing you should consider before you hit that record button is your USP. That stands for unique selling point. That's what's going to differentiate yourself from everybody else out there. If you've been watching YouTube for a while, you'll know it's a pretty crowded place right now. There's a little thing that we like to call niching. So it's a subject matter that you've really boiled down to. Great example, we talk about gaming a lot. It isn't my primary field. As you might have guessed, my primary field is whiskey. But if you think about gaming, you don't really want to just be starting a gaming channel these days. There's too many of them going out. You're going to get swallowed in that whole mass of it. What you want to do is find a nice little niche somewhere. A great example is people that just play racing games. Some people just play mobile games, whatever. You can start a cookery channel, but maybe you want to be niching down on one specific kind, that sort of thing. That's what we're talking about. But you need to do your research on that. You've got a great idea and that's brilliant. That's probably why you're here. But you need to do your research and find out if anyone else is doing that already, if you can do it a little bit different, and what you really bring to the table, what your hook is. If you can answer that question, then you're probably a greater person than me when I first started, but it's a great question to see if you can answer. Now the second thing to really give good consideration to is the amount of time you're going to have. It's a massive learning curve to YouTube. Most people will probably think that all you have to do is press record, upload, and on you go. And of course you can do that, but there's this whole element of learning behind it. If you really want to get seen, we're talking about things like SEO, search engine optimization, which we'll cover in a later video. That's kind of a little bit more advanced, I would say, than just getting started. But really consider how much time you can give to this. A great example, when I first started YouTube 4 or so years ago with 0 subscribers, I had no technical expertise whatsoever. I recorded something on my camera and it took me an entire weekend to figure out how to edit it, get it into the right file formats and whatnot. These days it's a little bit easier. You can record straight from your phone. I was recording on some old bridge camera that had .movs and needed to be MP4s or whatnot. So it's worth considering how much time you can give to that first video, but also going forwards. It's very, very easy to be really passionate about it at the start, especially right now. We're in the kind of COVID situation right now. If you're watching in the future, hopefully that's all past. But you might think you've got a lot of time to put out daily content. When you all go back to work, it might be different. When you have families, it might be different. So you need to think about how much time you can really give, keep to a schedule, maybe do weekly or fortnightly videos to start with and see how you get on with it. Even if you can record 5 in bulk, then you can release those 1 a week or 2 a week or something like that, rather than 1 every day and then have a massive gap before your next video. Okay, so you're almost ready to press record. It's time to take stock of what technology you've got in your house right now that you can use to your best advantage. A good rule of thumb is always use the best thing you can and the best thing you're able to use. Most of us, I would say, will have a phone these days. That's a great place to start. iPhones and current Android phones and whatnot have great cameras, great microphones, things like that. I personally started on a mobile as well, but I found the limitations of that were quite stringent, especially if you don't have the paid apps that you can use. We'll go into that into a later video, but a great place to start is just use your phone. The audio won't be as perfect as it can be, but then you can start buying slight upgrades to that as you start getting more confident in what you do. But if you have a great webcam, for instance, I do all of my videos on a webcam. This is a 1080p Logitech C920, but we'll go through tech later. And obviously I have a microphone here, but that came much later into my YouTube career. I slowly built up lighting and things like that, but right at the start, it was just standard everything phone. But if you can do better than that, try to do better than that. If you have a DSLR sitting around, it's worthwhile learning how to use that, and if you can, plug a microphone into it if you have one. What I don't recommend is going out and buying a whole heap of gear right from the start. Unless you have that sort of collateral, then please feel free to. But it's the kind of thing that you don't want to be doing in case you find it's not for you and you don't want to do YouTube any longer and you've got all this gear sitting there. The last thing I would consider before really checking out YouTube as a viable option is to really study YouTube. Now, you can find out lots of channels like mine and others around. There are a lot of specialized channels that go into what we call the YouTube algorithm, and that specific algorithm decides essentially whether your video makes it or not. It's based on a whole heap of different things, and we'll go into the algorithm in a future video. but really, as your video progresses, the algorithm will decide whether it shows your video to more people or not, and if it decides not, then that video will slip into obscurity. But you can do a whole heap of study to improve your chances of being seen and being shared and being put under people's noses, which is the really important thing. I'll be doing a video on that in the future, so if you like that sort of thing, make sure you hit subscribe to see that video. Well, there you go. There's the things I think you should consider before really boiling down and starting YouTube. Of course, going right back to the first point, the first thing you need to do is just start. If you've got an idea and you want to just run with it, please feel free to. That's exactly what you should do. Right at the start, when you've got few subscribers, 100 or 200 subscribers, something like that, that's the time to be really agile, to see what works and what doesn't work, see what people like, what people don't like, and you can move it around, and you'll probably find that even though you've got an idea, nobody else is doing it, that after a few videos you might decide, I'm not having fun with this, I want to change it, and that's absolutely fine. That's exactly what you should do. But the key point is you need to be realistic about what videos are going to happen. Now, everyone wants a viral video. Personally, I did get one on my whiskey channel. I was lucky enough, and even that, it got 200,000 views, but it really only increased my subscribership by maybe 1,000, 1,500 subscribers. So, and then after that, that's gone, that's disappeared, that's gone. Those are great, we like those videos, but the bread and butter is the consistent viewership videos. They're the ones you want to be aiming for. If you can build that, then you're doing well on YouTube. Thanks for watching the video today. I'm going to be doing lots more videos like this. Coming up, we're going to be talking on more tips on starting, more tips on being seen, and more tips on tech. But of course, I'm going to be running through a whole heap of things for small channels, just like me right now on the main channel, less than 10,000 subscribers. This channel is going to be like a roadmap from 0 to 10,000. After that, most people know what they're doing. We don't really need to target those people. Hopefully, this has inspired you to start your YouTube channel. If you want more content like this, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll do my best to put stuff like this out regularly for you.